This is Amrita Ebenezer again. I'm from Somani Tutors. Our last video was about the assignment operators, about how you could increase the value of an integer, and also make your coding look a little bit nicer and neater, the way a professional would do. But today we're going to be talking more of the if statement. Remember our last tutorial on if was just the if else statement, where this condition had to be met, and if this condition is not met, in any other case, this particular block of code will be executed. But today we're going to be talking about nested if statement. Alright, that means an if statement inside another if statement inside another if statement. So in order not to get you confused, let's jump right into the coding, and hope you had a very lovely night. I couldn't sleep. I was up all night trying to be who I am. So let's do that. A new file, Java file, new class, right? Next, and then we should name this class nested if. Alright, that should do. Okay, alright, so I'll just delete these two files open, close this, nested if, have the main class file. I don't know why my baby is so slow. I beg your pardon, I'm sorry for the delay. Alright, let's go. Okay, thank you. Okay, there we go. So we'll start with our favorite number one integer value or variable is equals to 6. Okay, so you remember the if statement we had where it was like this. Today we're not looking at the else, we're just looking at if nested if statement. All right, so let's say if number one is greater than 3, right, the way we had it the last time, system.out.println, all right, which is print line now. Then I want to print out the value number 1, so let's just run that quickly. Do your thing, Eclipse, let's go. Alright, 6, which is the value of number 1. Alright, let me simplify this. Let me display yes, number 1 is greater than 3. Okay, so let me run that again. Run as. Alright, here, there you go. Yes, number 1 is greater than 3. But what if in a scenario where you want to check for multiple cases? That's like probably if number 1 is greater than 3, and then if it is greater than 7, and then if it is greater on the same, meaning how the nested if works now is a condition must be true before it can check. So if I have another if statement here, I don't know why this keeps saying if else. Alright, and then another if statement here again. Okay, so if, and then I say if number 1 is greater than 5 again. I say if number 1 is greater than, say, 7. Okay, now let me remove this. And then put this, because it's a nested if statement, put this here. Okay, so what this means is that for this to be printed now, right, so let me put the system, put a print statement there, system.out.println. I would say yes, number 1 is greater than them all. Alright, now the only time this statement will be executed now, our next tutorial we are going to be looking at nested if statements with their else statement. But for this one, let's just look at nested if so we don't get ourselves confused. Now this condition says if number 3, if number is greater than 3. Now in order for us to use comments, we say number 1 is greater than 3. Okay, so that's true because the value in variable number 1 is what? 6. Okay, so this statement is true. And remember I told you in our last tutorial, I'll put the link in case you've not seen it, that this block of code, that's this whole block, will only be executed if this condition is true. And for now, this condition is true, so it moves into the block of code, and the next statement it means is another if statement. Okay, so it now checks, is number 1 greater than 5? Most definitely number 1, because it has the value of what? 6 in it, is what? Is greater than what? Than 5. All right, so it goes to this block of code now because it has entered one step in, and then it meets another if statement. It now says if number 1 is greater than 6. All right, so commenting, this will be number 1 is not greater than 6, right? Because what? Number 1 is what? Because number 1 is 6. Okay, so let me make this so that the statement will be true, so that I don't rush anybody. For this should be 5, this should be 5. So number 1, no, this is 6, this is 6, this is 4. All right, this is 5. So number 1, 6 is greater than 5. All right, so let's run it and see what happens. Run as server application. Okay, now number 1 is greater than them all. So I explain again. The nested if statement works like this. All statements of the if must be correct before you can get to the final display of your answer. All right, so something like this. This condition is true. Why? Because number 1 is greater than 3, so it moves and then it executes this particular code. Number 1 is greater than 4, that is true. It moves here, it executes this, and then number 1 is greater than 5, of course, and then it's stuck inside this particular block of code, and then number 1 is greater than 5, and then it prints this out. That is what we see on our console. So I'll run it again. It wouldn't make any difference, it will still be the same answer. All right, number 1 is greater than them all. So that is how the nested if statement works. Okay, so in our next tutorial we're going to be looking at the nested if statements with their else. So imagine where you had 3 nested if and then you now had their else. So in case this is correct, but this is not correct, the else statement will kick in. All right, so if this is correct, but this is not correct. So if I had the else here, okay, and then the else here. All right, so this is how our code will be in our next tutorial. This else statement belongs to this if. So if number 1 is greater than 5, else this block of code. Okay, if number 4 is not greater than 4, then this block of code. So if number 1 is not greater than 3, then this block of code. So guys, I would implore you to come watch the next tutorial, and then you understand nested if and else statement. I'm taking it all easy so that nobody gets confused. All right, thank you, and keep coming back and keep watching and keep learning. There's nothing as good as learning on your own. Some more hands-on will do the trick. All right, thank you guys, see you next time.